Welcome to Mrs. Wright's basement. Today we're going to be looking at sentence variety, simple and compound. The first type of sentence is the simple sentence, simply because a simple sentence is a combination of a main subject plus a main verb. Remember that nouns can be people, places, and things. Pronouns take the place of those nouns. They're words like he, she, it, we, they, and so on. Verbs can be action-oriented, but verbs can also be linking because they show no action, but they link the subject to what's said about it. In our sentence, what's doing the action? Well, the pony's doing the action. So the pony is the subject. And what is the pony doing? When we look at the sentence, we can see that the pony runs. So the pony runs, subject plus verb, a simple sentence. Sometimes a simple sentence can have more words that forms the subject doing one thing. What else could run like the wind besides my pony? Well, my best friend. So we could have the pony and best friend running like the wind. We'd still have a simple sentence. So the words pony and best friend form one subject, and they are both running. So we still have one subject and one verb for our simple sentence. Sometimes a simple sentence can have a subject doing more than one action. Not only does my little pony run like the wind, he leaps like a gazelle. So let's take a look at the subject and the verbs. Pony is doing two things, runs and leaps. So a simple sentence can have one subject doing two things. A simple sentence may even have several words forming one main subject group and one main verb group. So let's take apart our simple sentence. Our pony, our friend, and our dad are all nouns that join and form one subject group. And what are all three of them doing? Well, they not only can run, they can leap, and they can eat. So all three of these verbs form one main verb group. We still have a simple sentence, and look how long it is. It does not have to be short just because it's simple. Let's look at linking verbs. Linking verbs are harder to spot because they don't show action. When do we use simple sentences in college papers? Don't these sentences make us sound juvenile? No. Good writing has variety in sentence lengths. For instance, the man stopped suddenly. The woman hissed at him and lifted a finger to her lips. We use simple sentences to quicken the pace in our writing, to emphasize a strong part, to make it sound more dramatic with action, and make our writing come alive. There is a second type of sentence that we can use to create variety in our writing. The second type of sentence is called a compound sentence because this sentence joins two simple sentences. I've combined two simple sentences. He suddenly stopped. Two hooded figures appeared. There are two simple subjects doing two separate actions. He stopped. Subject, verb. Figures appeared. Subject, verb. And they are combined with a joining word. There are 7 joining words. A clever mnemonic we can use to remember them is the word fanboys. We also call these joining words coordinating conjunctions. By using them, we tell the reader that both sentences are of equal importance. One sentence isn't more significant than the other. When we write a compound sentence, we also include a comma before the joining word to indicate that we have a compound sentence. 2 subjects, 2 verbs. When should we use compound sentences in the college paper? Again, think variety. We use both simple and compound, different lengths, different styles to keep our readers' interest all the way from the beginning to the end of our paper. Sometimes simple sentences can look like compound sentences. If we mix the two up, quite often we include a comma when we shouldn't. If we take a look at this sentence, we think that it may be a compound sentence because it has one of the fanboys, the joining word and. But let's take a closer look, and we see that it has one subject doing two things. I nodded and began. If I wanted to take and make this a compound sentence, I would have to have a subject over here. So who else could begin? We could say, I nodded to him and she began to run up the stairs. So now I have a subject verb, and because I have a compound sentence, I also have to add a comma before the joining word. In my experience, this rule is where most of your red marks come from when writing an essay. You must remember that when you have a compound subject, you have a subject, verb, and a comma. If you do not have a subject on this side, you do not have a comma, you have a simple sentence. Remember this. It's so simple. Remember to spice up your writing with simple and compound sentences. Come back next time for complex sentences. We live in an extreme digital age. Technology has made leaps and bounds, but somehow we've lost the personal connection. Now and then we need to press the off button. Try penning a letter.